Welcome to the Ysn Power Hour for Thursday, May 6th, 2021. DJ Yogli on this side, Max Solo on the other side. Whoa, that's like Randy Orton slash, what's the dude from Mortal Kombat? The
Sub-Zero.
Finish him. Come here. Happy Thursday, buddy. I mean, we're literally Max Solo here today. The one guy on the other side. I have no idea where anybody else is. Zero clue. Alex said he got the shot, so he said he's feeling a little under the weather today. So hope everything's well with him. Quinn got a haul, an absolute unbelievable haul from Youngstown State University for the Peyton Strong event. So kudos to him. Quinn continues to do stuff around the clock, completely off the radar, that always benefits somebody else. So kudos to Quinn. I have no idea where Coach Seidel is. We had a sales meeting earlier, and my dude is MIA. I have no idea where he is. Maybe he's
got to eat. Maybe he's still celebrating post-game birthday party.
That could be too. I mean, that's cake, right? That's naturally. That's breakfast the next day is birthday cake, right?
Got it.
At least in my house it is. That's how it goes. Usually I went from having regular birthday cake, which was usually a Dairy Queen cake, to the strawberry pretzel salad that Sarah makes. Like, that's my birthday cake now. So as you experienced.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, so naturally. Oh, look at this. From the road, he's calling in.
What's up, boys?
So much for that. Where are you at?
I just got back towards Salem from Boardman.
Okay. Look at him.
Had a couple
putting the
holes
work in.
out in Boardman. That's right.
Could have stopped at the crib, done the show.
I should have.
We appreciate you. I wasn't going to put you completely out to dry. I figured you were out working somewhere. So a good day for YSN?
A good day for YSN. Planting the flag everywhere.
Love that. Well, let's get to the topic at hand for the day. It is National Beverage Day. How can this be that hard, right? So the natural question is, what's your favorite beverage? Maybe give me one non-alcoholic and one daddy pop, as I say. Let's go with the guy from the road.
Yeah, so favorite non-alcoholic beverage right here, a little Chick-fil-A sweet tea. And favorite daddy pop beverage, got to go with the Busch Light.
Busch Latte, okay. Mac, how about you?
Listen, one of the biggest gets this year at Scene Park so far is the cherry Fanta pop that Coach Beams got at the concession stand. And the only other time I've ever had this is at the hot dog shop in Warren. So this was a huge get. So when I seen the little cherry, I'm like, that's got to be strawberry, because you could get strawberry anywhere. When I seen that it was cherry, done. That was a huge get for Bob Scene Park, is the cherry Fanta. And then man, I've been kind of craving some Sam Adams Summer Ale, so I'm gonna go with that right now.
I can appreciate that. I can also appreciate Kate saying her strawberry pretzel salad is so good. It is my favorite. Excuse me, ice cold lemonade or ice cold Bud Light. What if you? Hang on.
What if you go with the Bud Light lemonade?
Is it that? I mean,
that's a thing.
Is it?
That's a real thing. Yeah, it's a seltzer.
I haven't tried
seltzers.
It's a lemonade. It's a lemon. It's not really a seltzer. It's classified as a seltzer, but it's a lemonade. It's very similar, like Truly.
Is anybody else down on the seltzers right now? Like, I am against them. I can't do them. They taste
I like the Bud Light ones and the lemonade ones. So they have a whole line of Bud Light lemonades, and they have like raspberry, black cherry, lemonade. They have all kinds of tea, and then they have their Bud Light seltzers of different flavors.
I got burned on the seltzers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought for sure that these seltzers were gonna taste just like you pour, what is it, Mike's, like the real lemonade. You know, that's almost like legit lemonade. It tastes so good.
Some are better than others, to be honest. Like the White Claw, all of them stink. They're trash.
Richie from the Pete Rundown page says, do they still have the Fanta here? I'm going to grab some tonight if they do.
Yes, sir.
Get it, Richie. Shocker that the two gingers are going after cherry Fanta.
It's tough. That's tough.
I'm just saying. There's some things that certain culturally diverse people go after, and you guys have pretty much the same features. Just saying, from a follicle standpoint.
So we are the goats. Gotcha. All right, Richie. Anytime you can put me in a class with Richie, I'm down. I'm here for it.
Have you ever seen a ginger goat?
Again, anytime you can put me in a class with Richie, I'm here for it. Like I'm here for that noise.
Oh, Cherokee Red, no.
Oh, that was good stuff too, man. That's good stuff too. That's some like country, like that's a red soda.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Bill is the biggest Bud Light fan, I'm gonna guess, you'll ever meet. God forbid he drinks something that isn't made by them. I tried the Trulies. Kate was big on the Trulies, and I couldn't get behind.
I didn't mind the Trulies. I've had the lemonade Truly. It's not bad. The Bud Light brand is they just do things better. Sorry, not sorry.
Not a sponsor yet, as Coach would say. I'm a big lemonade guy. My wife makes my wife's a fantastic cook or chef or whatever you want to call her. She makes tea better than anybody I've ever met. She gets the different kinds of tea. Right now it's blueberry in our fridge, and she puts them in the Billy Mac Mason jar, and they go down nice and easy, and probably too fast, because when they're in that Mason jar, like she makes a big pot of it, but they go in there and they go down smooth. Like there's nothing. I chug all of them. I'll do 2 or 3 a night sometimes, but it's the.
And you brought some in. You brought some in. They're good.
Yeah. And then when she does, what is this? The strawberry.
She did a bunch for the strawberry tea in the fall.
Yeah,
or not? It wasn't
lemonade.
Tea though, was it? Strawberry lemonade. That's what it was.
And that's where it's at. That's my
everybody.
favorite.
Everybody loved that one.
Yeah, because she puts the real strawberries in there, and then she puts it in the blender with the lemonade. It's not even like legit lemonade. It's just the sugar stuff. The country time puts the water in, puts it back in the mason jar, and we are good to go on Friday nights. We are all sugared up. On arrival through the doors here at YSN. So those are my favorite. I'm not really a beer guy. Like if I had to drink, it used to be cranberry and vodka till I had too many cranberry and vodkas, and then I don't think I've had one since. But that was my go-to. I'm a fruity drink guy. That's just how I am. Make fun of me, I don't care. That's how it goes. It's just how it is.
It happens.
I mean, listen. If I'm gonna get hammered, I'm gonna get hammered with something that tastes good. Like
it's a fair point. I mean, when you say it like that, it's a fair point.
Because listen,
Right.
I know it's coming. I know I'm gonna taste it again, right? So I gotta make sure to taste good the first time because I know what it tastes like coming back. Mountain Dew Blue, says Andrew Fallett. All right, I don't think Beamer has that on tap. Code Red Mountain Dew. Well, I'm sensing a theme here.
You like Mountain Dew? You and Quinn.
Stan is slang for someone who is a very zealous fan. I didn't know that.
It is. It's very like the M&M stand.
Oh, okay. That is old school. Pepsi Blue?
Andrew's
I've
got
never had.
blue.
I've never had Pepsi Blue.
I don't
I've
think
had
I have either.
Pepsi Clear, which I get behind.
That was a long time ago. That's when we were kids.
No, they brought it back.
Oh, did they really?
They brought
That's
it back
tough.
and then did away with it. Like it was one of those things. Like it felt illegal buying it because you felt like you were buying it from like 20 years ago.
What was that stuff as kids we used to? Was it like man? They used to have a like 6 times the amount of caffeine in it.
Jolt.
It was like a Jaguar on the front.
I thought it was Jolt.
I know Jolt was a big one too.
What was the other?
I thought he was heading towards Surge.
Surge was a good one.
Surge was good. I'm gonna look it up. I'll let you know
Red Bull.
after a while.
Will Cunningham says Red Bull. I don't like the taste of Red Bull.
I like
For
my
some-
See,
vodka.
I'm a big Bang and Rain guy. If I'm gonna drink an energy drink, those are the 2 I'm gonna go to.
I forget. Rockstar? Is it a Rockstar? Rock?
Monster.
No, it's
Rockstar was an energy drink.
Listen, it's still at Circle K. So when I go to do games, I pick one of those up. It's a fruit punch one, and it is delicious. And Coach Bertolini is scared crapless.
So the drink was
sees me
called
with one of those in the hand.
Josta.
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 Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Brother Josta.
Now they were illegal or something, right?
Yeah, because they were like 6 times the amount of caffeine in it.
Yeah, the people were having heart attacks.
It's basically like an energy drink today. It's no different than an energy drink today, but it wasn't. We
But
didn't
it
have
wasn't
energy drinks
legalized
back
back then. So,
then.
have you guys ever seen the people that drink the pre-workouts but don't go work out?
Yeah. Yes. My buddy does that all the time.
That's a little bit psychotic to me.
Yeah.
It's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Quinn, what's your favorite beverage?
Oh, come on now. Let's be honest. Come on.
He didn't have a
We all
Mountain Dew
know.
today, though. No
Yeah,
Mountain Dew today.
There it is, right there.
Well, I meant when we went to lunch earlier.
True.
I got to think that
Crosby.
probably when he goes pee pee in the potty, as my girl's saying, it just looks like straight Mountain Dew. It's just recycled, just
It is.
neon green.
It's good stuff.
Do you have? You're not much of a drinker either. Do you have a favorite alcoholic drink?
No.
Mountain Dew and vodka.
Mountain Dew. There was a Mountain Dew thing. I don't know what was in it down in Louisville that I had. It was decent, but it was Mountain Dew based. So
Nuts. All right, we got some sports to talk about, believe it or not. One of the things I do want to discuss, I don't know if you guys saw it. Billy and I were talking about it there goes Quinn. As soon as we talk about sports, he's gone. Sports that police themselves. And what I mean by this is if you watch the NHL last night at all, over the last 24, 48 hours, you saw what happened with Tom Wilson, who, in my book, is a complete scumbag, has been for quite some time. He's just one of those hockey players that plays dirty, doesn't care who he offends, doesn't care who he hurts. He's out there to make a name for himself in that light. So he hurts a guy against the Rangers 2 nights ago. The president comes out after the NHL does nothing but give Tom Wilson a $5,000 fine and basically a slap on the wrist. The president GM from the Rangers comes out and basically calls out the guy that's in charge of the NHL safety committee and handing out the punishments and fines. He's fired last night before the Rangers and Capitals game the second time through. As you know, if you know, the NHL, you play one here. It's like a home and home the entire way. First thing that happens when the players step on the ice last night, drop the puck, 3 fights right away. And another fight 2 minutes later, another fight 3 minutes later, another fight. I mean, Billy was watching the highlights, and it was just every single time that guy, Tom Wilson, gets on the ice, he was thrown down. Now, after the game, the Rangers are fined $250,000 for that. We want to talk about sports that police themselves. We talk about baseball. We talk about all the, throwing down the old number one whenever, I guess the old 1A, whenever, you're in baseball and you're throwing at somebody because they're not doing something right. What are some of the sports that police themselves, and how do they do it? Is there ways in football for sports to police themselves, Matt?
Yeah, I was trying to think about this when I saw the Capitol stuff, and I don't know that there really is a lot of policing themselves in football. Obviously the one that comes to mind always is baseball and the unwritten rules and the way that they just kind of, okay, if they're not going to take care of it, we'll take care of it ourselves. But I mean, there are times within the football game where you'll see a guy go head hunting for another guy that maybe shook somebody up or disrespected them or something like that. I think it's a lot more common in the NFL than it is at the high school level.
Well, that's Jeff Bezos, right? That's my perfect example of someone
I can tell you right now, there's at least 4 or 5 instances. Now, this is before social media. When I was in high school, that there was some cases with me involved and with others involved, but that there was some cheap shots going on, some late hits. I mean, there was some things that within the game. I mean, it's not really within the game, but that we got ours in. And you knew where it was coming from and why it was coming from that direction. It was somebody grabbing face masks or grabbing areas you shouldn't be grabbing, and we find out about it. There's ways to take care of it. I don't think you see it as often anymore because of this. Because this will ruin your life forever. It also helps your life, but it will ruin it just as quickly with somebody videotaping you in a cheap shot, late hit, an obvious late hit. And then if you're getting scouted, coaches are going to want to know why you did all those things. So now you have some explaining to do, where back in the 90s, 80s, and before, and even early 2000s, it wasn't as common to have, everybody didn't have a camera on their phone.
So let me ask you this from your perspective. I've already told you, and I'm guilty as anybody of this. Have you ever been in a position that you've wanted to go back, or you've wanted to cheap shot somebody, or you have cheap shotted somebody, and you get your comeuppance, or vice versa?
You mean like take it back, or?
I mean, you either start the fight essentially, or
Yeah.
or you try to finish it.
I've been on both sides of that. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's been times in any sport I've ever played. It was, I got to think we were still in that old school sporting era where we had that Michael Jordan, I'm better than you, I don't care what you say, and then I'm going to show it to you physically. I'm going to try to physically oppose my will on you, no matter what sport it is. If it's a guy who took me deep, or that hitter is going to get a ball in his ear, or at the very least on his hip. I mean, we were never taught as pitchers to hit. If you're going to hit somebody, hit him. Like just make it count.
Just not in the head.
Really? I mean, if you're going to listen, we're taught when a guy turns around for a suicide squeeze, you're throwing at his face, because he's either going to get out of the way, that ball's going to get hit on a suicide squeeze. Like I don't teach this, by the way, just for the record, but this was taught to me a long time ago, where if a kid's squaring a bunt and there's a runner at third base, you try to pick up on it and let it sail to his head, because he's going to get out of the way, and then you're going to get the runner out that's coming home. If he doesn't get out,
McCarthy,
then he'll learn.
Yeah,
I've played for some crazy coaches. They're awesome, but I played for some crazy coaches.
I mean, from that standpoint, I was on the catching side of that, but they always said if a runner's going from second to third, you pop up. If he doesn't get out of the box, you throw it right off his helmet, because it's interference. Well, it's the umpire's judgment. However, usually it shows up as interference. Little tip and trick for the young catchers out there. Also, batters, get out of the box. But I would say that it's not dirty. Like, they're just it's dirty. Like I'm
dirty today though is different than dirty what it was back then. It was like you're on the edge. Like it's different. Everything's changing, and and again with this it changes, because what our opinions inside that circle may not think it's dirty, but you get this on Twitter, and next thing you know, it's a dirty hit, and it's going viral.
Yeah, it's interesting. Quinn, have you ever been in a situation where you had to police yourself, or your team had to police themselves during a basketball game?
I mean, yeah, but basketball's a little different compared to some of that stuff, because like basketball, you can get away with a lot of stuff. It's a lot like more chippy than most other sports, maybe other than like football, where like you can get away with a lot of stuff. Like when you set screens and stuff, you can kind of put an elbow into somebody, little things like that.
Sure.
So like
I would think it's similar to a lot of other sports, like baseball, hard tags.
Yep.
Like that would be something I would look at for like comparable to basketball.
I would say so, but like the odds of it happening are, I guess, greater in basketball, because like at any given moment you could have like 5 screens in one play where you're just hitting people. So I mean, yeah, I would say it's pretty similar to that.
The hell are you setting up 5 screens in one play for? How bad are your shooters?
Bad. Or they're really good, so you got to set a lot of screens. Either way, there's a lot of different things.
We always go with the first instinct reaction. Bad.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, from a basketball standpoint, like hard fouls, right? Somebody goes up and they foul your guy hard. Are you retaliating? Have you ever told your kids to retaliate? And listen, they go up and they foul hard, you get them back?
No. No. I'm never going to tell somebody and like hurt somebody. But I mean, there's like, I tell them like, stand up for yourself. Like, you protect yourself. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but like, protect yourself. Do that. Do what you think is right.
When hard foul in basketball, I feel like the retaliation or the reaction is instantaneous. There's not enough time for a coach or somebody to say, "Hey, go get that guy." It's got to be like, "Hey, I'm putting up for my guy."
And
Yeah,
hockey,
pretty much.
obviously,
I
we
mean,
saw it. Are you on delay, Quinn? All right. I think Quinn's on delay. I think he's frozen. So
No, I'm here.
Let-
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Kind of. No, I'm not.
Can you hear me now? Nope. Can you hear? Nope. But
No,
if you're ever going to bet on something, bet on the internet, right? That's what DJ Yoakley always says. And sure enough, it bites me in the ass every single week right here on my own damn show. So, yep, I'm here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I was.
And the dog.
dog's had enough of Quinn's shenanigans.
From a standpoint, we looked in the mailbag this morning, and a lot of feedback from our show yesterday about the shot clock. Somebody wanted to know if one school does it, and I think we talked about it a little bit. If one school does it mean that every school has to do it or not? I mean, you said I think so?
I think so. And I think it's a case of where, the state organization that likes to, bring in money for themselves, they're going to mandate it across the board because you can't, you really couldn't have one school that has it and one school that doesn't.
It's interesting, right? I was told that they're looking at 35 seconds as being the go-to on the shot clock. So 35. I mean, how many schools now take longer than 35 seconds to shoot? I can't tell you one game that I've seen longer than 35 seconds.
That would be that was a question I asked yesterday. I think that would put it into a pretty good idea of, do we need it then? If they don't take 35 seconds, is it something that we need?
My question is, if you're going to set it at 35 seconds like that, is this the first step towards high school getting rid of quarters and going to just halves like they do in college?
That's a good question. I don't know why they would do that.
Well, think about 35 seconds in an 8-minute quarter.
Well, here's my other thing is why is college football? Why is college basketball the only one that does halves?
I think that's D1 though, right? That's not D2.
It's all divisions in college now.
I've got Quinn muted because all we can hear is the road. Let's go to our resident expert in basketball. Quinn, I'm sure you heard that part of the conversation. Why is it that college basketball does go halves in everybody else's quarters?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the ruling is on that because it's only boys in college. Girls are in the quarters. Girls have 4 10-minute quarters in college basketball, and it is, to answer your question, Billy, it is all the way through. So Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO, it's all halves.
I think it has to be, right? It'd be silly not to be, because then you're talking about, okay, if YSU plays Westminster, which they usually do.
Correct.
What do you do? Is it the rules of whatever team's home team?
I'm not sure what the transition is because, like I said, girls college basketball went to quarters. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and started doing 10-minute quarters there. So I don't know why it's the way it is. I really don't. Even in AAU, we do halves. We do 16-minute halves at the varsity level. Great.
So the Google machine.
Transferring where?
The Google machine says this is why they play halves, is to discourage physical play and increase freedom of movement. Why that makes any sense of
that makes
quarters to halves, that's what the Google machine says.
You said that makes sense, Quinn?
No, none.
Okay.
That makes zero sense.
So let's get back to the shot clock since you weren't here yesterday. How do you feel on the shot clock being approved by the NFHS? Do you think it will affect more than just basketball, you think it'll affect the schools and budgets and things of that nature because of everything they'll have to buy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking of it from a monetary standpoint. There's some schools out there that I don't know if it's in the budget to afford a shot clock. And I mean, you got to afford 2 of them, not just one, because you got to put it on both ends. I don't know if, just schools in our area, I don't know if everybody has the means to do it. And if they don't, what happens if you can't afford it or you can't get one? What do you do? Like, what happens?
It's got to be. I was thinking after the show yesterday. This has got to be one of those things that, like, hey, we're proving this now, but in 5 years, everybody's got to have one.
And I mean, here's the other question though: is like, does it really affect everybody? Like, I mean, those that aren't playing in college, it doesn't really do anything for them. Like, yeah, I think it's all preparational for, like, going on to that next level, gets you used to playing with a shot clock and stuff. And I mean, it creates tempo and it makes you go quicker. But like you said earlier today, I don't know how many schools actually used more than 35 seconds in an offense.
Can you think of anybody that you've seen have more than an offensive set that's longer than 35 seconds?
I mean, consistently, no. I mean, there's been times where, like, we've ran motions and stuff like that to where we try to kill the clock and we've used up more than 35 seconds in a situation, but it's never been, every possession we're wasting more than 35 seconds.
Billy, you had something to say?
I know a school that takes forever to score when they have offense. I'm not going to put it out here, but yeah, they take forever. Well, I should.
Is a YSN but
I'm not. It is a YSN school.
It's a nice.
That is their defense by playing offense. Put it to you that way.
I don't think that taking time is a negative thing.
No, it's not. But, every possession, if you're using more than 35 seconds, your scores are going to be in the 30s at best.
Paige says West Branch did every time. Raina Montgomery was all about holding the ball. I saw them run some offensive
35
sets.
seconds, though.
35 seconds is a long time. Like, hold your breath for 35 seconds and see if you're still awake whenever you wake up.
It's tough to get anybody to do any play for
Quinn,
35 seconds.
You don't hold your breath for 35 seconds. You are literally driving, which is not safe from the jump. But, again, the choices on YSN's Power Hour are not exactly the oh my gosh, they're actually holding their breath. And look at how many things we can get accomplished in 35 seconds while Billy is quiet.
Billy's breathing through his nose. He'd be the color of the sun by now.
The sun?
That was the first thing I thought of that was red. Other than the red minivan.
40 seconds.
Somebody check on Matt, because I think he's passed out with his eyes open.
50-5-0.
Chris says it takes strategy out of the game. United girls tormented East Palestine in the fourth quarter by using motion. DJ, I was there to see that. That was unbelievable. Because once you get a lead, all you do is hold on to the basketball and run motions, and it killed East Palestine. They needed the ball back in the worst way. They would have benefited from a shot clock. No doubt.
That was an early 90s Rick Brook thing, too, at Sebring. He loved to just yell out, no buckets, no shots, and watch the guys run 2-3 off the game clock.
Very interesting. When we come back, we will put any bows on this the shot clock
Tempo!
stuff. What?
Sneeze. Excuse me.
Okay. We will put any bows. I guess Max got something to say about this before it's all said and done. And we're also going to talk about no-hitters in baseball. The third no-hitter of the year already, and we're not even, 2 months in? So we're going to talk about, does something need to be adjusted in Major League Baseball to, I guess, level the playing field a little bit for hitters? I didn't think there needed to be, but 3 no-hitters tells me something different. That's the hill I'm going to die on. Watch this. Mac and I are going to go one-on-one when we come back right here on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by all of our friends and all of our great sponsors during this break. Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sudman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley, Max Solo, and the coach with you. An update just 30 minutes ago, right before we went on the air. It looks like Youngstown State baseball changes made to this weekend's Horizon League series against Purdue Fort Wayne at Eastwood Field. YSU going to play a doubleheader tomorrow at 3 p.m. and a doubleheader on Saturday at 2 p.m. Probably, I'm guessing, has to do with the weather because we're dodging raindrops here. Not right now. It's been pretty nice all day, but it looks like the rest of the week we're going to be dodging some raindrops. Sticking with baseball, guys, when we left, wanted to kind of put a ponder on our people, YS Nation, and does baseball need a change? 3 no-hitters already, and we're not even in June yet. Do you feel like the pitchers have an advantage, and why or why not? Mac, we'll start with you.
I mean, I think it's fine. I was just looking up. The average no-hitters a year is 2, so we're slightly over that. There's been in 2019, there was 3 combined no-hitters. So basically what that means is starting pitcher came in, threw a no-hitter, got out before the game ended, and then multiple pitchers came in relief, or 1 or 2 came into relief to finish off the no-hitter for the team. But it's not as common as you think. There's 3. I just looked it up. It's 307 total in the history of the game of baseball, and baseball started in 1876. So, I mean, it's an average of 2 a year. I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, listen, these guys get paid a lot of money to hit, and it's not their fault when the pitchers do a better job preparing for hitters over the hitters preparing for pitchers.
Interesting take, Coach.
Yeah, I hate to claim ignorance here, but I do have a question about it, and that's, we talk about the focus being on launch angles and trying for home runs. Does that have anything to do with seeing more of them this year? I mean, I know pitchers are generally ahead of hitters at this time of year. But do we think that the change in the way that guys approach at bats has anything to do with it?
Well, I think the biggest part about it is exactly what you talked about, was how pitchers are so far ahead of hitters into this part of the season. Usually you start to see the hitters come alive in June, July, and August. A lot of it has to do with the weather, warming up and whatnot, but the other part of it really has to do with you're just getting quality at bats at that point. So early in the year, even you go back to spring training, pitchers are still throwing anywhere from 1 to 4 to 5 to 6 innings in a game for spring training. Plus, they had the entire month of February that they're basically pitching in, and then the hitters are reporting somewhere near in the late February, early March, and that's kind of and hitters are only seeing one at bat a game. Right, you talk about these superstars going all the way in and then easing into it. You start to see around the league right now, a lot of big names and starters are hurt. They have those what we would call like tic-tac injuries, where they're out for 15 days because it's early in the year. I got a hangnail kind of thing. So a lot of those guys are getting injured. So these young kids are coming in and playing, and the level of competition isn't just fully there yet, where you're seeing superstars all over the place. Now you're seeing the Yankees kind of come to life with a lot of their starters back in the lineup, and they're starting to hit the ball. And guys are throwing, they're chucking. I mean, pitching has taken a huge step forward when it comes to things like drive line and velocity and plyo ball training and off-season programs have came out in the past 5 or 6 years, are getting so much better, and guys are throwing so much harder. Tommy John surgery alone is not necessarily a super negative anymore. They're able to turn that around to be a positive thing. Not that anybody should go out there and get that, because that would be silly as hell to do. But they're coming back stronger than ever because the rehab is so hard. They're able to scientifically go in there and then say, this is our workout regimen and how we're going to do it. And now they're coming back stronger than ever. So guys are chucking the ball. Yes, the launch angle has maybe a slight to do with it, but I'm not over concerned about that because, again, we've talked in so much fashion about launch angle and run support's up, home runs are up. So I'm not too concerned about that either.
So here's my question, and this is why I think that there's a valid point to be made for changing where the pitcher's mound is, or in some capacity, some fashion. Usually I'm on your side, Billy, but let me name off some of these guys that throw no-hitters, right? Stop me when it's someone that you actually think is worth anything. John Means, yesterday, no-hitter. Carlos Rodon.
It's worth a no-hitter.
Yeah, he no-hit your Indians. Joe Musgrove. The only reason I know who Joe Musgrove is because he played for the Pirates for 2 years. Otherwise, no clue. No clue that he played for the Astros. He's number 3 at best on a good team. Throws a no-hitter. Alec Mills. Care to tell me who he plays for?
Listen, there's a whole long list here. Okay, of guys that you've never heard of that throw no hitters. I mean, right. This is the beauty of baseball. I think it's more of a beauty than it is something that a negative is. On any given day, it could be your day. You might have the right amount of pressure on the ball. You feel really good. The hitters may be hungover from the big party from the last night that they won a game. All those things kind of come into consideration, and to me, it's just the beauty of baseball. When you step onto that diamond, it could be your day. It could not be. How many times do we see guys, Hall of Fame guys, get shelled in a day? I mean, that happens too, and nobody talks about that, but him being a bad pitcher. So it's hard for me to say that, like, hey, this guy I've never heard of before comes out here and throw. It could be a coming out party as well for some of these guys.
I mean, Justin Verlander has, 3 no-hitters?
Mm-hmm.
He's the first name that comes to mind whenever I say, okay. But a perfect game, those hitters are in infamy for the rest of their days, right?
Right.
Nobody throws a perfect game and they go, who? It's no-hitters that they go, well, wait a minute, who's this guy? Like, John Means could have been packing your groceries at wherever, your local grocery store. We have no idea. Nobody knew who John Means was. I think he made one all-star team, but nobody knew who he was unless you were a Baltimore Oriole fan, or yesterday you were a fan of the Seattle Mariners. I just think that, not that baseball is easy by any means, but I think that a no-hitter may be, and again, we had a no-hitter technically, right, just last week, 2 weeks ago, with Mad Bum, that people are trying to press for. So you look at that, I mean, does something need to be done? I think that, it's an offensive game. If fans want, or if Major League Baseball rather wants more fans, the offense has to come along.
I mean, I really don't think that the offense is that far off. I mean, you're talking about in an era where we're still scoring a lot of runs, and the home runs, it's not uncommon where you're seeing 1 through 9, everybody's got 20 home runs or more.
Sure.
I mean, we're talking about that, there's always ways the MLB is doing things with the balls. They're, tightening them up, loosening them up, all kinds of different leather that they use. So there's ways that baseball has, kind of go up and down in this cycle where runs are coming in, runs are not coming in. So I really, it's just, to me, it's so difficult to explain because it's just one of those, to me, it's a magic thing of you have to be pretty good and you got to get a little lucky to throw a no hitter. I mean, a dive and play here or there, it's not like these guys are going out here and they're throwing 19 strikeouts, right? If that was something, maybe I'd be a little concerned. Depending on who the pitcher was, if he's throwing 93 miles an hour by guys, that would be something or 103, 104 by guys. But that's not the case here. These guys are throwing anywhere from 93 to 96 miles an hour, which is a league average. So I'm not overly concerned about like the velocity of these guys or the breaks and all that stuff. A lot of these is I think the kid the other day had 7 strikeouts. I mean, that's not too crazy to think about. So a lot of plays, one of those plays could have been a diving catch in the outfield for an out. And then we're not talking about how no hitters are easy to come by. Not that that's what you said.
No, I mean, I think that they are nowadays.
I mean, average 2 a year. That's not.
2 a year is still a lot. A no hitter is supposed to be special, right?
I mean, 162 times 30.
That's what okay, I mean, I get it. Really, it's 132 times or 162 times 15.
Right. But
really, I've that's neither here nor there. It's you look at this and you go, okay, Nolan Ryan threw 7. Doug threw that up, and I get it. There's players that do have consistency, right. But you want to look at that, and I love the fact that you're defending this, and obviously this is something that I can go one way or the other on both of it. Trying to be a politician here, trying to make the show interesting. I don't think that the game would be hurt if they moved it back a foot. If they moved the
I think it would. I think it would really adjust the breaking ball pitches. I think you'd see offense explode. I think it would be. You got to think right now. There's really like.
Is that a bad thing?
It could. I mean, maybe for the viewer, I don't know, maybe not because everybody loves runs. But I think you would take a key part away from baseball, which is the strategy of pitching, because now 103 isn't going to be 103, not from a foot back. So you're looking at, again, average is 93 to 96. So now a foot back is about perceived velocity, which is 3 miles an hour per foot. So if you move a foot back there, you're going to lose 3 miles an hour automatically. Okay. And that's not even the strain of an arm. Again, guys are getting hurt everywhere. Okay. So now what 93 is, now it's 90 to 95 is an average. So the 100 mile an hour goes out the window. That nobody's really going to be throwing that outside of maybe 2 or 3 guys, which is okay. That's cool. But now the hitters can really sit back and see an extra foot. That's a big deal.
Has velocity on bat speed gone up over the years, or has it stayed pretty consistent? I don't know this.
It hasn't really been a measurable thing up until the last 15 years. So it's hard to say, very much like how the radar gun for the pitcher has been around since I think the 70s, somewhere near the 70s. So I don't. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Everybody loved the steroid era, whether you liked it, whether you were a part of it or not. Everybody really enjoyed it. Some of the biggest memories that Major League Baseball has is without Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire, baseball died. Okay, it's dead. And it's funny. It's always funny when I talk to people about, you know, they don't like Bonds and they don't like McGuire and they don't like Sosa and they don't like these guys because they cheated and took steroids. But I bet your ass was sitting down in the middle of July or middle of September watching Sammy Sosa and McGuire try to break the record. Like, that's what's always funny, and the ratings have never been better outside of that year. I think it was the 98. What are you doing, dog? Jesus, Pete.
Dog doesn't agree.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, he's got a point. But think of it from a context of this, right? I've never seen a crowd of people gather around to see a bunch of firecrackers go off. However, you put some big boomers in the sky, and you're going to get a park full of people. So that's what baseball understands. I think that's what they're leaning towards. I think it's an argument that has to happen.
It's so funny you say that because yesterday was May 2nd was the 20-year anniversary of Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux having the commercial with Chicks Dig the Long Ball. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's funny you say that because that was an actual thing. That was a thing that Nike was putting out everywhere. So I get what you're saying, but runs are up, give or take. They're right around that league average. So, I mean, they don't have a problem. Some teams have a problem with scoring. Like, there's no doubt about that. There's teams out here that have issues of scoring runs. Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
There is some teams. No. I've watched 0 Cleveland Indians games this year because the Indians stink. All right. So I'm not watching them. But some teams are out here struggling scoring. But traditionally, they always struggle scoring, some of these teams. It's just not fair. Like, the Marlins just never score runs, period. They go to World Series and win World Series, but they don't score runs.
These Indian fans, listen, you can't sit there and win games and say you're the hottest team in baseball and this and that and the other thing, and then have people wanting you to feel bad for them. Like, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Like, it's stupid. It's double-sided garbage, Indians fans. Matt, I'm looking at you. And
I don't want anybody to feel bad for me. Listen, we've had good years, we've had bad years. This is not a particular, but I'm still enjoying watching this team come together and play baseball.
What does he mean by my lower body? What's wrong with my lower body? My lower body is fine as a fox. Thank you very much.
Doug says
Doug says I need leg day, basically.
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere, Doug. I'll put. Let me put the sneakers on. We'll go for a race. You can talk about my lower body when you beat me in a foot race.
Woo!
He wants to talk about me 4'11". Listen. I'm not a tall guy. I'm not here to hide that. You want to throw stones? All right. I'm sure I can gather a couple in the back there and throw them right back. I do have the better arm than you, Doug. So throw stones. Go ahead. And I don't need to be 60 feet 6 inches away. See? Yep. There we go. I can also remember a jacket when it's freezing cold outside. So.
And long pants.
Yeah, some long pants. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't necessarily agree with the backing it up a foot, but I think something needs to be done. I think there's a bunch of average Joes throwing no-hitters. I really do. And you have Paige saying John Means is on fire. This is the first time I've heard of him this year.
You got to remember, too, DJ, scouting reports. Like, some guys get a big scouting reports in baseball. Some guys don't pay him any mind because, well, this guy, maybe it's his first appearance or he's only had 3 appearances or a short appearance. So maybe it's it's difficult to get a full scouting report on guys. And then guys go up there unprepared at the plate. So a lot of times that's the club's issue and their club's fault, but also the batter's fault if he's not doing what he's prepared to do inside the scouting report.
Mike Fiers has 2 no-hitters. Could not tell you what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
can you remember the teams he played on?
But this is just one game, right? It's different, and even if it's 2, right? But it's not like he's going out here with a 0 ERA, right? Like, yes, you're put on that wall of, hey, I had a no-hitter, but over a course of a season, like, guys could have this is more to your point, is guys could have a 7 ERA but have a no-hitter in the year. right? It's more, to me, it's more impressive. I don't know why we glorify the no hitter, and it's a great accomplishment. But the idea of like we have to change everything because a nobody threw a no hitter, I think it's absurd to me. Because in the course of a season, it's all about the better pitchers rise to the crop or to the top, right? So you're going to see ERA. You're going to take that. That's going to be a better statistic. A better statistic is going to be WHIP. Okay, so those are the two things that I'm going to look at to define you as a really good pitcher throughout the course of a year, because we all know it's a course of a season. It's not what you just do in one game. If a guy goes up there and hits 3 home runs in a game, we're not sitting here talking about, well, maybe the pitcher should move forward because guys are hitting so many more home runs.
No, because it's an offensive-minded.
Right.
You know, that's how it goes, right? You want more, you want more, you want more. Perfect games, I'm perfectly happy. Like and that's the argument that I think would be on the other side of anybody against me is, listen, there's only X amount of perfect games in the history of Major League Baseball. No hitters, maybe they're not as special as they once were. Because I still think 2 is a lot, and you're looking at 3 this season already. There's going to be another one. You know there's going to be another one. So
but I can't stress enough how a no hitter is not solely. It's so weird to me how one person gets the award for it. It's not even really an award, but the notification for it. It's really about everybody else too. It's not just about, hey, this guy threw. If he went out there and threw 21 strikeouts for a no hitter, then that's pretty impressive. That's great. That's something to talk about. But he didn't. Most pitchers, I don't think anybody's ever done that. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure nobody's ever done that.
Just got a text message. We are averaging a no-hitter in Major League Baseball once every 2 weeks this season.
It's still young. It'll even itself out.
It can't even out if you've already got 4. You know what I mean? Essentially, because, again, Mad Bum, people want to count that one too. Everybody wanted to jump me whenever I said that.
There's seasons out here where there's multiple ones. Okay, and I'm trying. The screen gets so small because like there's years.
There was 4. 2018 there was 3. 2017 there was 1. 2016 there was 1. 2015 there was.
In 1973 there was 7.
7?
Yeah. So in 1973 there was 7, and then there was
2015
1 in 1970. So I mean, like it evens. It's the law of averages. If anything, in baseball knows it's about the law of averages. Wow, there's also combined. So if you're reading the same thing, I'm reading off ESPN. There's combined ones. So
4, 5, 6, 7 in 2012. That's crazy. I don't know. I think.
Listen, well, no. There's not 7
in 2012
because there's combined here.
Well, combined
they
counts
threw in
as well.
But the pitchers, they notified the pitchers as well in that mix.
No,
like I'll say 6.2, 1.02.
Yeah, I'm saying it's in lists. So in 2012, it was Philip Humber, perfect example.
Relax, dog.
Jared Weaver, Johan Santana. Then there was a combined no-hitter with the Seattle Mariners. Matt Cain had 1. Hernandez had 1, and that's your list. And then Bailey came back in July the next year.
Right.
Coach Seidel says his beef is the internet. Well, that's a perfect segue. Very much, right?
All right.
The G Filet brought in New Buffalo Road in Columbiana. Matt, go right ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, looks like my internet's going a little bonkers, or yours, one of the two. My beef is just the coldness. I'm over it. I need my 70-degree sunny day so I can go out here and go do a whole bunch of baseball games and softball games and hold my practice. It's baseball season and it's a little too cold for me right now. Like I'm over it. So that's my beef for today.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that shouts out. It is day 1 of T-ball practice for the girls. Day 1 of hopefully a lifetime of memories I will never, ever, ever forget. I've waited for this almost like the Star Wars thing. I've waited for this my entire life. I can't wait to go out. I know it's going to be mass chaos. I've already been warned about what's going to happen. We've already kind of showed the girls what's to go down, but leaving today to get down to HQ, they were both so excited about playing baseball and playing T-ball. So my heart is happy. I know this is going to be severely disappointing to what my mind has in store, but some of my friends have graduating seniors this year, and it has been so tough on them to see them play what could be their last game here, what's going to be their last game there, and I'm just excited to be on the other side of that journey. Hopefully for the next 14 years or so. And hopefully well after that. Hopefully they turn into college softball players and they can excel there too, or whatever they want to do. I don't care as long as they're happy. So excited for the journey tonight. So that is my filet. The beef is going to be, where are all our peoples? Like where like the Power Hour, Billy, you and I talked about this. I'm not going to throw shade on our guys, but everybody wants to be a part of this thing in fall. Everybody wants to put their neck out there and put picks out there. But here we are, May 6th, and it's 3 of us. 4 of us.
Yeah.
Quinn.
I mean, well, listen, I mean, here's the deal. I mean, some people got the commitment and some don't.
Ooh. A little shot in the dark. Listen, I'm not going to call our guys out, but there's people that love us. There's people that hate us. They just want to hear us talk. They want our opinion. Where's YSN? Where's our guys? Come on back. The water's warm. Don't worry, Doug. You're signed up already, buddy. You will be 100% on this show, and you'll be roasted like a
It's just going to be so much fun. Maybe eventually getting some new faces on here, but when fall football comes around and, I got to get on because I want to make picks. Well, I think new phone. Who this?
Sorry, we forgot to send out the link. No, in all seriousness, thank Doug for chiming in. We appreciate all of our fans that are chiming in. We appreciate, obviously, all of our announcers and certainly our sponsors below. Bear Brothers, WRS, Insurance Solutions, Joe Dickey Electric, Channel 21, WFMJ, and, of course, our buddies over at G. Berwick Farms. It just tastes better. Committed to a better road internet so I can keep doing both. Absolutely. All right, buddy, let's call in the flag. Let's salute on this Thursday the flag we call YSN. Flying high!